Some friends do not actually miss you, they quietly monitor you from a distance. They text like they genuinely care, but every question feels strangely surgical and timed. You feel watched, and your gut has been right the whole time about them. This is not friendship. This is quiet surveillance dressed in warm emojis and check-ins. The pain you carry is being studied, not supported, and you can feel it. You leave conversations lighter on news but heavier in your chest somehow afterward. By the end of this, you will spot them, name them, and disarm them. Here is the first sign that exposes them faster than any other behavior does. They ask deep questions but never share anything personal back to you in return. The exchange is one direction, and that direction always flows toward them only. Real friends trade stories. Fake ones collect them like quiet little trophies instead. Notice how they remember tiny details you barely mentioned 3 months ago casually. That is not love. That is a file with your name written on it. The crazy part is, they only get curious when something good happens to you. Your win activates them faster than your pain ever did, and that detail matters. A real friend leans in during your low moments, not just your highlight reel. Watch how they vanish when you're struggling and reappear when you start rising. That timing is not random. That timing is hidden, jealousy wearing a soft smile. Another move they use is the casual update fishing trip every couple of weeks. Just checking in is sometimes code for "tell me what I missed lately." They do not want your day. They want your data, your moves, your plans. Try this once. Give them nothing, and watch how fast the warmth disappears completely. Silence is the cleanest test you can run on a suspicious friendship like this. If they only stay close when you feed them content, they were never close. You will see the mask slip the second the information stops flowing freely outward. Here is a line you can keep in your pocket for these exact moments. Say, "Nothing new on my end," and let the awkward pause speak loudly for you. Do not fill it. Do not soften it. Just hold the silence with steady confidence. Their next question will tell you everything about why they were really there originally. Another sign is how they steer conversations toward your relationships and finances repeatedly. Money, dating, family drama, career setbacks, these are their favorite topics nearly always. They package it as concern, but the follow-up questions feel like a job interview. You leave feeling drained and somehow exposed, even though nothing dramatic was actually said. That feeling is your nervous system catching what your conscious mind keeps missing entirely. Trust the drain. The body keeps score even when your manners override your instincts. The next sign is sharper, and it is the one most people overlook completely today. They bring up your secrets in front of others to gauge your reaction live. It looks like a casual slip, but watch their eyes. That slip was a test. They want to see if you flinch, deny, defend, or accidentally confirm something hidden. That is not a friend. That is a low-key intelligence operation in real time. Here is your weapon for that exact moment when it eventually happens to you. Look at them calmly and say, "Interesting thing to bring up right now, actually." Do not explain, do not laugh it off. Do not perform comfort for the room. Let your stillness become the loudest thing at the table that entire evening. They will feel exposed, and the people watching will quietly start to notice it. Another pattern is the friend who suddenly reappears right after major life changes happen. New job, new partner, new house, new income, and now they are everywhere again. Their return is not affection. Their return is reconnaissance disguised as warm nostalgia visits. They want to map your new life so they can measure it against theirs. The metaphor is simple. You are not a friend to them. You are a mirror. And mirrors only matter while the reflection still threatens or flatters their own ego. Here is the crazy part most people refuse to accept about these specific connections. The closer they act, the more dangerous the information collection actually becomes for you. Warmth is the wrapping. The package inside is comparison, envy, and quiet competition daily. You are being scanned for weaknesses they can use later in subtle little ways. Maybe a comment to a mutual friend, maybe a joke that lands a little too sharp. Maybe an opinion shared at the wrong moment to the wrong person on purpose. This is smiling sabotage, and it works because you keep handing them the ammunition. Stop handing them the ammunition, and the entire dynamic collapses within just a few weeks. Another sign is the way they react when you set even a small basic boundary. A real friend respects a "not right now." A fake one treats it as personal rejection. They push, probe, guilt trip, or pretend they were just kidding around all along anyway. Boundaries reveal motives faster than any deep conversation you could ever have with them. Try this. Decline one small request and watch how the energy shifts almost immediately. If the warmth was conditional on access, the truth will surface within a few days. Here's a clean line that ends 100 manipulation attempts in one short sentence. Say, I am keeping that to myself for now, and do not justify it further. Justification gives them new angles. Silence after a boundary gives you all the real power. Another sign is the friend who always knows your business before you tell them yourself. They drop hints that someone else has been feeding them updates about you secretly. That triangle is not innocent. That triangle is an information network you fund daily. The cure is brutal but simple. Become harder to read across every available channel. Post less, share less, explain less, and watch the network slowly starve out completely. People who only stayed for content will quietly drift, and that is the actual goal. Their exit is not a loss. Their exit is an audit you should silently celebrate. Another sign is the friend who weaponizes your old confessions during disagreements very lightly. You shared something vulnerable years ago, and now it lives in their back pocket. They reach for it the second they feel threatened, embarrassed, or one-upped by you. That is not memory, that is leverage, and leverage is the language of the trail. Here is a line that ends that pattern with surgical precision and no extra drama. Say, bringing that up says more about you than me, and walk away calmly afterward. Do not argue the point, do not relitigate the past, just label the move clearly. Naming the behavior out loud disarms it faster than any defense ever could possibly work. Another sign is the friend who tests you with silence after you share good news. You tell them something exciting, and the response is dry, late, or strangely flat-sounding. Then days later they ask follow-up questions like, nothing emotional ever happened there before. That delay is processing. That delay is them swallowing resentment before performing fake support. You deserve people who light up in real time, not people who recover offstage privately. The next pattern is subtle, and it is how they talk about other friends openly. Listen carefully when they gossip about someone else with you sitting in the room. Whatever they do to others, they are absolutely doing to you behind closed doors too. The kitchen they cook in for others is the same kitchen they cook in for you. That is not paranoia, that is pattern recognition, and pattern recognition is real protection. Here is your move when you catch them mid-gossip about a mutual person nearby. Say flatly, I would rather not get into them, and change the subject coldly. Watch their face, watch the small flicker. That flicker is everything you needed to see. Another sign is the way they study your reactions more than your actual spoken words. You will catch them watching your face when good things happen to other people nearby. They scan you the way a hunter scans the woods before making a quiet move. That scan is not affection. That scan is data collection wearing a curious expression. Another red flag is how they pump mutual friends for information about your private life. They ask your sister, your roommate, your partner small questions that seem completely harmless. Those questions stitch together into a full picture you never agreed to share publicly. This is the invisible leash, and most people never even notice it tightening around them. Here is a tactic that breaks the leash without confrontation, drama, or a single argument. Tell your inner circle, please, do not share anything about me, even small things, anywhere. Watch the network go silent within days, and watch who suddenly seems frustrated about it. That frustration is your evidence. That frustration is the receipt you have been waiting for. Another sign worth watching is the friend who suddenly mirrors your style, opinions, and goals. They are not inspired by you. They are studying you to compete against you privately. Real aberration celebrates openly. Hidden rivalry copies quietly while pretending nothing is happening at all. When you notice the mirroring, do not call it out. Just stop revealing your next moves. Let them copy an outdated version of you while you build the next chapter privately. They are not listening to the news. They are measuring your envy in real time. That gaze is not curiosity. That gaze is quiet competition wearing a friendly costume. The reframe you need is this. Their behavior is a confession, not a reflection of you. Their fixation on your life exposes their emptiness, not your importance to them whatsoever. You were never the prize. You were the benchmark they secretly hated measuring against daily. The moment you understand that, the spell quietly breaks and never reforms again afterward. Now here is the practical playbook you can start using, starting tonight, immediately and quietly. Share less, observe more, and let your silence become a polygraph for everyone around you. Watch who pulls back when the information slows. Those people are your real clear answers. Watchers stays the same whether you are winning or losing. Those are your real people. Stop explaining your decisions. Stop previewing your plans. Stop narrating your private wins online publicly. Mystery is not coldness. Mystery is maintenance for the parts of your life that truly matter. The friends staying close for information will reveal themselves the second you go quiet around them. You do not need to confront them, expose them, or burn the bridge dramatically anywhere. Just let access become the privilege it always should have been from day one originally. Their hunger for updates will drive them to make a mistake you can clearly see soon. When they do, you do not react big, you simply step back and stay neutral always. Neutral is the highest form of power when dealing with people who quietly study you. Remember, their interest was never love, it was inventory, and you are not inventory anywhere. You are a person, and people deserve presence, not pattern analysis from quiet jealous rivals. Try the silence test this week with one person you have been quietly suspicious of lately. Drop the updates, soften the access, and write down what you notice within 10 days quietly. Tell me in the comments which sign hit you the hardest while listening to this carefully. If this gave you clarity, subscribe so the next layer reaches you when you actually need it. You are not too much. You are not paranoid. You are finally seeing clearly now today. Protect your story, protect your peace, and let the watchers find someone else to study instead.